Us. What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, aka Master Teacher 33, and today is Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. Friday, March the 27th. Friday, March the 27th of 2020. 2020. At the time is 6:30 p.m. Central Time. As always, my brothers, as always, my sisters, we have a powerful show scheduled for you today. We're going to break down how to manifest. No more play. This is not a new believer show. That means you need your big boy draws on, big girl draws on today. Today we get to break down the one thing that most people is unaware of, and that is the Greek word PHAO, which gives us the ability to shine and to manifest by rays. So I've done many shows on the 7 rays, and everybody is controlled in, or you receive the frequency waves of vibration from one of these seven rays. Now we broke this down before, so I'm not going to spend too much time on the 7 rays. That's the result of this phenomenon that we call the precession of the equinox in astrology. So everything is light. The great Nikola Tesla said that. Um, Everything is transformed into light, and everything that exists is light. Now, in addition to the great Nikola Tesla, the big G said, and God said, let there be light. We all know that. And there was light. 1 John chapter 1 verse 5 says God is light. The Quran says God is light of the heavens and of the earth. Quran chapter 4 verse 35. So we know that there are 7 rays that control, or that's a part of what we call the 7 primordial forces that's found in nature. But what I have to break down for you tonight is, especially coming from a traditional biblical background, the inability to understand what these 7 rays are and the power that's contained in these 7 rays that's also available to you, or allows you to manifest according to your dating time of birth, because that is the energy imprint on your body. Now, I am doing this also live on Facebook, so if anybody wants to switch over, you can watch me on Facebook Live also, as long as it don't phase out or what have you. But let's jump right in where we left off today at 12 noon. So today at 12 noon, we broke down the Greek word phos, which gives us the English word light. And so what we did not talk about when we broke down this Greek word phos, what's up, Sister Holly, was the underlining word, because I want to save that for tonight. So that way, this is kind of like a part 2, if you will, from today's show at 12 noon. Now, when we talk about manifest, if you can wrap your brain around what I'm getting ready to share with you tonight, this will animate, or this will change your life, because now you get to tap into the cosmos. Now, I post a picture on my Facebook page that has this bright light, this big, huge ball of light called the pleroma or the pleru. And then it sends this big ball of light down, and it hits the prism, and it fractures into 7 colors. These 7 colors we know as Roy G. Biv, which are the 7 colors of the rainbow. These 7 colors are expressed, exposed, and expanded inside of the 9 life path numbers. Now, one of the things that really stands out is that I've not heard any Reverend Doctor nor Bishop break down life path number 8 and life path number 9, because if there's 7 numbers, what are the colors and the numbers for life path number 8 and life path number 9? Because I will break that down tonight. You guys know I am life path 6, so I'm under the frequency. I receive specific attributes and characteristics from the 6th ray that activates the 6th chakra. So the 7 rays also line up with the 7 chakras, and we break down 8 and 9 for you tonight, so that way you can understand from whence your attributes and characteristics come from. Because if you don't know this, you cannot shine effortlessly. You got to put forth force, and you got to use fear. Now remember, I don't work. I get paid to breathe and stay hydrated. So the long as I stay hydrated, with my alkaline water. No disease can exist in an alkaline body. And I know as long as I take in breath, that's the Greek word ruach, Hebrew word ruach, which means breath. In English, it means spirit. So the Bible tells me I got to be born again of the spirit and the water. So this one Greek word that I played today, and let me pull it up for you again, it means the power to understand Phos. It's phonetically Foce, but that's not how it's spelled. It's spelled Phos. Now, let's break this down because this is extremely important.
G 5457. Phos.
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 Phos. So this Greek word phos has a word, and I wish I could show it to you because you got to go to Strong Concordance number because this is extremely important. This is how they keep you trapped in Groundhog's Day. There's a word, and let me read exactly what it says. And let me see if I can position my camera so that way the people can see it. It says phos, Phos, from an obsolete Greek word Phao. Obsolete, Phao and Phos. Obsolete. Now the question is, why is this Greek word obsolete? But at least they kept it inside of, or they kept it there. So I don't know if you guys, I'm trying to position that so that way you can see it. But anywho, you can just go and you can look this up for yourself instead of me trying to show it to you on the screen there. But it says Phos from the obsolete Phao, which means to shine or to make manifest, especially by rays. It means luminescence in its widest application, natural or artificial, abstract or concrete luminescence, or light, aka fire. Now, brothers and sisters, this show tonight is a show that's should go viral, should be viewed by everybody and their grandmother. You know, we all know it probably won't, but it should. Everybody and their grandmother should know this. So the ability for you to shine, the ability for you to make manifest, to make things manifest is based upon your ability to over and understand the words that are about to come out of my mouth. And so I hope you got your popcorn ready. Hope you're strapped in and you're ready to rock and roll. Because once again, this is not a new believer show. So this word means, again, to shine or to make manifest, especially by rays. So this is telling us in the Bible, where I'm getting this from, it says luminance, which means the power of understanding. It means the ability to expose or to make something exposed to the view. In other words, the ability to make something luminescence. Now we use bioluminescence. That's why I can see you. You are luminescence. You are illuminated. I'm able to view you or see you in this dimension because you are luminescence. Now, the reason why this is so important is because now you manifest that luminescence. You manifest the luminescence. So, in other words, based upon your understanding of the words that you use, that determines what you see, meaning what materializes in your life. So, if you want more wealth, then you have to be able to use PHAO. That means the 7 rays that makes you luminous. Now, this word luminous again comes from the word luminous, and let me pull that up so that way we can break this down. Now, luminous. This is very, very important. Each one of these words, luminous, 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 luminous. It means lighted up or illuminated. It means well lit. So the only way for you to become luminous, this is where they get the word Illuminati. So the Illuminati just simply means that these Negroes are more luminous. They know what I'm getting ready to tell you. Now, remember, this shit is only taught in higher circles and skull and crossbones and all of this stuff. They don't want the little dude to know this because then you can manifest your own shit and you can't be controlled by no reverend, no doctor, or no bishop. Because right now, you're waiting on your 40 acres and a mule. Not because, but people you know. Or you got morals and dogma that comes from a religious belief system that was scripted by some Negroes back in 325 AD. So now it's time for your light to shine. It's time for you to become illuminated. It's time for you to become light, to be lit. It's time for you to join the Illuminati, if you will. Now I know y'all niggas about ready to hang up. I know J Money, you got scared into J Money. You're like, this nigga done lost his mind. So all it means is to be lit. Now I don't know about y'all, but it means to be brilliantly, intellectually enlightened. It means to be clear. It means to be intelligible. Now, this is the year of 2020. That's why stuff like this is coming out. And that's why there's people like me sharing this, because it comes from a Latin word, luminasus, well, where they get the word illuminati. But really it means lumen, Lumen. Now, let me get the correct pronunciation.
Lumen.
Lumen, Lumen, lumen. So lumen means luminati. Now remember, this is what you will have after tonight's show, because you ain't got this right now. You're unaware of it. So that's why you can't manifest again without effort. Everybody's manifesting, but now y'all niggas working hard. Now y'all don't sit around in your drawers all day like I do and talk on the phone and write books and do shows and get paid. Y'all, not you personally, but people that you know. So some days, shit, I barely even brush my teeth. Okay, I'm just playing Dr. Barnett. I brush my teeth. I know I need them. So the word lumen means unit of luminous flux. So it means a luminous flux that is emitted from a unit of a solid angle. So when source sends the light, it hits the prism and it fractures. That creates lumen, Lumen. So everybody has this. You have a certain amount of what is called a luminous flux. You are a light being that's trapped in a dirt body. Now this is what they call the anatomy of passage. This is your passage. This activates all of the tubular cavities inside of your organs. You need this luminous flux. This gives you what is called intensity from a biological perspective. This gives you what is called aperture. So what this does is this increases the tubular organs, and it animates, or it increases or opens up the blood vessels or the blood flow. This is the unit of luminous flux. So the amount of light that is given through, or that's allowed to shine through, is based upon your ability to understand lumen or luminous, or this Greek word Phao, which they took out of the Bible. We just read where it said that word has been removed. So, Sister Gwen, why did they take that out, Sister Gwen? Well, Sister Gwen, they don't want you to know. Them good old boys in 325 AD at the Council of Nicaea, Sister Gwen, they said that we need to goy them. That's most of us. Most of us on this call. There is no Orthodox Jews on this call, to my gnosis. Now, if one of y'all niggas are Orthodox Jew, then okay, then this doesn't apply to you. But most of y'all on this call, you consider goyim, boo-boo. In other words, you beneath their feet. So they said, the 1%er says that we don't want the goyim. The priests don't want the peasants to know this. They don't want you to know this. Because the power of understanding, your ability to shine, remember the word means to shine and to make manifest by rays. So that's what you're supposed to be doing. So is there anybody shining and using their ray, their sixth, well, in my case, the sixth ray, because I'm Life Path 6. So now, Helen Belansky broke all of this down, but the church said that it was demonic. And Antoine LaVey and all of these knuckleheads that's part of the quote unquote dark side, they already know this stuff. That's why they live a very prosperous life. And most Negroes die broke, alone. Why is that? They don't understand how to shine and make manifest. Okay, Doc, you beat that horse down, dog. Can we move on? Absolutely, my brother. So there are 7 rays. You go to Google and type in the 7 rays. It also lines up with the 7 churches. It lines up with the 7 blood types. This is the law of 7, comes from the Greek number 54, 57, again, which means to shine or to make manifest, especially by rays. So the 7 rays is all throughout the Helios Biblius. So there's going to be a reverend and a doctor and a bishop that's going to listen to 5 minutes of my show and then going to try to text me and email me, and you're going to get cursed out. Now, it's not your fault, Negro. You got to tune in. You got to listen to longer than 5 minutes. So now let's break down these 7 rays. Well, each one of these 7 rays, and then you can look this up, any basic website, it tells you the 7 rays, but there's 9. Now, what I'm about to tell you, I've never heard no Negro say. Ray number 1, life path number 1, red. That's the ray of freedom, divine will and purpose. It's from Atma, A-T-M-A. Now, again, it means hero, ruler. You can go to Google, type in the 7 rays, type in esoteric meaning of the 7 rays, and then you can look this up for yourself. If you want to get a deeper understanding. So for everybody that's a life path number 1, all you got to do is understand the first, you got to understand the ray of blank. Everybody should write this down. Why? This goes with all of the other stuff I've been telling you. So every day I'm giving you a key to manifestation. This is the 56th key of the 65 keys to manifestation. All you need is 1. Now, if you use all 65, Negro, you can think shit will show up in your life. You're going to be a bad mama jamma. Now, I'm pretty close. I'm on about 3 to 7 days. If I have a thought, that's why I keep telling y'all it's very dangerous, because I started tearing up shit. Like if I have a thought, it's really dangerous. This is really, really dangerous. That's why I don't like thinking it. So let's say you married and you go on Facebook and you see somebody and you look and they look very attractive to you, and you say, hey, damn, he or she looks good. You have that thought. Guess what happens? You just destroyed your marriage. See, this shit is not play. That's why they don't want Goyim to know this, because they don't believe that you are responsible creators. So I'm operating under the assumption that you got your big boy drawers on and you understand that you're going to focus your mind on your intention and you're not going to pull shit out of thin air. That means that you're going to look at everything that I gave you and you're going to take, for example, I gave everybody their solar ID card. So you know exactly what your solar ID is. I've gave everybody their life optimization report. So you got your whole wheel. They got all 12 numbers, the 12 colors, and the 12 attributes. Then we gave you your labor of love report. So now you broke it down clearer. So you only got 3 words. Mine is 969. Why? 9 September, 6 is the day of birth, and the year that I was born. When you add it up and you break it down, it comes to the number 9. So those 3 numbers control everything that I do, J Money. So when I wake up in the morning, I don't have to think. So everybody on this call don't do that. Why? Because, Negro, you're not manifesting. Why? Because you're distracted. Why? Because they putting shit on CNN and got your attention. And so you looking over there, and so CNN prevents you from going within. So I don't watch CNN. So I ain't scared. I went out today. I went to Walmart. I went to 5 different grocery stores. Negroes were strapped up with masks and all this stuff. I came home. I got me out of hot water. I put me some commercial grade hydrogen peroxide, which I don't recommend. You touch that shit, it will wipe off your fingerprints. It's the most dangerous. That's why you can't even buy it. I got a special source. But I got commercial grade hydrogen peroxide and Epsom salt. And what did I do? Took my black ass and I got in that hot water. Why? Anything that was on me is gone. All I did, I didn't bathe, soap, nothing. I just got in there and soaked. Total immersion. Dinner, I've been drinking what? Warm distilled water and key limes. Do what? Detox the body. So I don't give a flying what they doing out there. If you are doing something in here, you don't care what they do out there. So you don't pay attention to that bullshit, because it ain't got nothing to do with you. Unless you don't know your numbers. Then your ass is scared, and you should be. Because their God is bigger than yours. Their brain is bigger than yours, because they remember that what we talked about earlier. The only way you're in Groundhog's Day is you're not familiar with yourself. You're more familiar with love and hip hop. You're more familiar with the Pooh Nanny than you are with the purpose. Now, Negro, I am not mad at you. I like Pooh Nanny more than any other Negro on the damn planet. However, there has to come a day in life It has to come, J Money. One day, maybe not today, dog, but one day, purpose got to trump poo nanny, homie. One day. I don't know when it is, but one day you got to wake up and you got to smell the mother beep coffee. Otherwise, your ass going to be in Groundhog's Day and you're going to DYE and your ass is going to come back and you're going to get another shot at it. You're just going to keep going around in this kirka. Unless you can understand. If you are life path number 1, you have the ray of freedom. Life path number 1, ray of freedom. Life path number 2, the ray of compassion. Life path number 3, please write yours down. The ray of wisdom, R-A-Y of wisdom. Life path number 4 is the ray of harmony, peace and harmony. Life path number 5 is the ray of knowledge. Life path number 6, that's me, is the ray of passion. So now y'all see why my black ass is a little cray-cray? Negro, I'm stuck on the ceiling every day. Y'all got to peel me off the ceiling. Like the wife and kids, they hate when I drink coffee because they already know. That's why I try not to drink it. Every once in a while, I drink some coffee. And it's like lights out. I can go to the gym and I can stay for about 3-4 hours. Why? Because I'm already stuck on the ceiling. It's very, 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 very important that you understand your ray, because that contains your power. We're going to go break it down. 6, where we left, is the ray of passion. 7 is the ray of order, divine order. Some people call it magic. But there's only 7 rays, right? Number 8, if you're a life path number 8, your ray is the combination of the number 7 and the number 1. So if you are an 8, you have the power, you have the ray of the power of the material realm and spiritual service. Basically, if you are an 8, you take the number 7, which is the ray of order, and you take the number 1, and that is the ray of will and power. That's why you are able to manifest if you are an 8. First of all, look at the 8. It's 2 circles, as above, so below. So the ray of the 8 is the ray of 7 plus 1. So if you're life path number 8, you got 7 plus 1. You got like extra. And then if you're 9, if you're life path number 9, yours is the number 7 and the number 2. So remember, if you are life path number 9, because there are no 9 rays, contrary to popular belief, there's 7. Roy G. Biv. Now, if you go and if you Google this and if you look it up, which I highly, highly recommend, I don't recommend you believe me because, again, I could have bumped my head at night, even though I didn't. Because it breaks this down for you so that it takes away all the guesswork. No more play. This is how you shine and manifest because they took it out of the Bible. I just read it to you. Strong Concordance number 5557. Look it up for yourself. Triple dare you to look it up. Especially all my good reverends, doctors, and bishops. Y'all niggas know I spent 20 years in the church. Licensed and ordained preachers, started churches, did all that shit just like everybody else. And was broke, busted, lying on my taxes, cheating on my wife. Life sucked. Why? Because the shit don't work. Now, I'm telling you why it don't work. Why? There's no power of understanding. There is not a church on this planet that I've been to that don't understand about the cosmos. Not one. Especially the tradition African American Baptist, Methodist, apostolic, sanctified. Them Negroes as dumb as a box of rocks. They cannot fight their way out of a paper bag. And it's not their fault. They went to the cemetery to get their gnosis. Now, I talk mad trash about the church. Why? Because, Negro, I spent 20 years of my life. You don't even know how much money I wasted in there. Now, it wasn't a loss. It was a lesson. And Sister Gwen, I learned my lesson. Sister Gwen, took me a while. But I finally learned my lesson, Sister Gwen. You will not see my black ass sit in no church. So now, Dr. Martinette, I come visit you, Dr. Martinette. I come watch you sing, Dr. Martinette. But I ain't, I just come watch you sing, Dr. Martinette. Send me an invitation. Let me know when you're singing at Ebenezer Baptist. I'll come check you out, Dr. Martinette, and then I'm out. I'm just keeping it real, Dr. Martinette. Why? I'm not wasting no more time. I've already wasted enough time So it's time for me to shine. So if you are a life path number 9, you have the number 7, which is the ray of order, and you have, again, the number 2, which is the ray of compassion. Now let's break these rays down a little further. So if you're life path number 9, this is how you shine and manifest. So what do you mean shine and manifest, Brother Will? Well, remember, we bring about what we think about. Remember, energy flows, or your energy flows where your attention goes, or wherever your attention goes, energy flows. So your words, according to Psalms 119, verse 130, Psalms 119, verse 130 says, wonderful are your testimonies, therefore I obey them. So your testimonies is how you obey. But what does that mean though? Verse 130, the unfolding of your words gives light. We are breaking down the word light. So how do we shine and manifest, J Money? Taking off draws at the club, or going making it rain at the strip club. Sitting in at Ebenezer Baptist every Sunday. Going out in the woods and hugging a tree. Taking some LSD or some other psychotropic drug so I can go on a vision quest and I can go see my ancestors. Now all that shit is good. But Negro, when you're done with that, you might want to unfold, you might want to put some words, because insight creates excite. The reason why I'm so excited, besides the fact that I'm very passionate because that's my rate, and I'm a 6, and I love beauty, and I love perfection, and I love doing shit at a high level, besides all of that, besides the fact that I'm a 9, which means I'm a very analytical in person, so I like to analyze stuff to put it in a step by step by step by step order so that why it looks good. So I can look at it and say, so remember, I remember you take your 3 numbers and you got to reverse them, because Isaiah 48 said they take the truth, they hide it upside down. So we're talking about how to manifest. Because last I checked, y'all paid me. Everybody that took this class, you paid me $167 times 5 to take this class. And you paid me to teach you how to manifest. Now, I learned it through osmosis since the age of 13. First thing I did, y'all know, was I incited myself, but I did it like Kobe did it, in anger, because I didn't know. I didn't know, J Money. Nobody told me. I got tired of getting my ass whooped. I was 13. Dudes was 17. All the dudes I was hanging out with, they was between 17 and 21. And they was the little thugs in my neighborhood. And they was drug dealers. And I was 13. And they said, yeah, man, go over there and steal this. Go over there and steal that. And then I would steal it, and then they take it from me. And then they go pawn it. And I would watch them spend my money. But J Money, I couldn't whoop them niggas because they was way bigger than me. And then I had an epiphany, J Money. I got tired of getting spanked. And I remember I said something very passionate. Tears rolling down my cheek. And I said, I don't know what I got to do. I don't care. But I ain't taking no more ass whoopings. From that day to this day, J Money, I ain't lost a fight. Don't plan on losing no more. Why, J Money? I summoned up something. But then I realized that the thing that I brought up, that Negro didn't want to, he wanted to run the show. Now, it was good. All the time I played football, he was in charge. Y'all ever see Beyonce on stage? She say when she goes on stage, Sasha Fierce takes over. Who the hell is Sasha Fierce? So all of the actors in Hollywood, they tell you that. They got an alter ego. Y'all would listen. You heard Jim Carrey? But sometimes the alter ego, that Negro don't want to, he wants the light. Anybody see Split? And they hit a bunch of alter egos. And everybody was fighting for the light. Did anybody watch Split? Am I the only one that watched it? Sister Diane, did you watch Split, Sister Diane? Well, in the movie Split, they telling you, Brother Joseph, did you watch the movie, Brother Joseph? Is anybody watching the new season of Altered Carbon? The stem and the slits or the skin that they put in, and they can change. And they said in this movie, life ain't worth nothing. The experiences. So they chunk your life and keep your experiences. And they use technology to trap your experiences. See, the reason why I'm so powerful, because I have so many experiences. Because remember, I live my life and fast forward. Now, people ask me all the time, they go, how the hell you have 68 jobs? Now, I can bring my ex-wife on here. She'll tell you because she wrote all this shit down. Now well, I don't want to put my dirty laundry out in the street, but I'm simply saying all the shit y'all niggas been thinking about doing, Boo Boo already did. Bad and good. And I'm not proud of some of the stuff that I did, Sister Stacy. I'm not necessarily proud of it, Sister Stacy, but guess what, Sister Stacy? I learned a lot of shitness about human nature. So, Sister Stacy, like I said, when I worked in that Supermax prison and I had these 90 dudes and I was telling them, if you walk up on me, I'm going to smoke all y'all. And I'm one man with a set of keys, Sister Stacy. And guess what? It worked. I bluffed. Or, like I told you guys, ignorance is bliss. Like they told me, Negro, your ass is so stupid, we're going to let you go. You know what I told them, J Money? I looked up all them fools in the IJ Money. I said, damn straight you going to let me know. You going to let me go. Because I whoop all you mother. Beep, 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 beep. That's how stupid I was, Brother George. Now, I've already watched them, Brother George, kill dudes out damn near every other week in less than 10 seconds. Because they know how to stick you in all your vital organs and you bleed out in freaking less than by the time help get there, you gone. You gone on up yonder. But I was so angry, Brother George. I thought, Brother George, and since I believed it, Brother George, and I kept telling myself that, Brother George, I incited myself, Brother George, to believe. So I went to work every day, Brother George. I was excited, and I was looking for conflict, Brother George. So I became, they had a lead man on a cell extraction team. They called the CERT team, Brother George. And every day we had to go in and we had to take an unruly inmate who was fighting. They would strip themselves butt naked. They would put Vaseline all over themselves. They would put Vaseline on the floor. They would take a glass. They would tape it to the hand so we couldn't disarm them. And then they would say, come in and get me. And I would go in and take them out, Brother George. It was a game, Brother George. I saw one dude one time, he was stuck on the freaking corner of the wall, Brother George, like Spider-Man, butt naked. That was my life every day. And I loved it. Why? Day moons. So when Nichols talked to me about possession, boo-boo, I don't know if you want to talk to me about that. I wrote the book on it. That's why when I broke this shit down, it's not based upon book knowledge. This is real life experience. Because I went through 3 things that didn't allow me to shine. And Negro, if your ass is in Groundhog's Day and you got an addiction, you're possessed. It's just what level of possession. Because the thing, your addiction, what the hell do you think that is? So you think that emotion, that energy you got, Negro, you didn't look the shit up? I already did the show. Every emotion has a demonic name. So if you feeling lustful, and you going out and you banging everybody, nigga, well, how the hell you think you getting it up every day? That entity is inside of you, operating as you, manifesting himself through you. I did it. I didn't read it in the book. So you got to get rid of that, man. And the only way that you can replace it is you need purpose. Because purpose trumps all the other P's. That's the only way that you can shine. Because right now, your name is Legion, for we are many. Just like in the movie Split. Now, everything that old boy in the movie Split did, I did. I just didn't know that I was under the spell. All I knew was something would come over me. When I got in a fight, it was magical. But J Money, I remember I got in a fight with 3 dudes one time. And I didn't have nothing in my hand. By the time the fight was over, all I know is all 3 of them dudes was knocked out. And I became a legend in my neighborhood. Because I had it was an old 2x4, and the last dude, when I hit him in the head with it, it just shattered. And then the girls was out. And that's how every fight I got into, that's how I won it. Now, if you ask me what was my combat strategy, did I take any MMA classes? Did I take any boxing and all this other stuff? I had no technique. I had no training. I had anger. Anybody know the demon that's associated with anger? Now, remember, when you study them, they study you. To the degree that you see them, that's the degree that they see you. Anybody watch Lock and Key? That Netflix series? Y'all want to know about demonic possession? So how do you get rid of them, though? You can't. You starve them. How do you starve them? You shine. They don't like the light. In the movie or in the Netflix series, when they turned on the light, now that they use the physical light to represent illumination. But how do you turn on the light? Light is knowledge. It's not no damn physical light bulb. You can turn on a physical light all you want. You're going to get smoked, bro. Them demons ain't going anywhere. So it's not the physical light. To shine is the characteristics and the attributes that's sent to you by the ray based upon your date of birth. Because that gives you, and there's a whole nother thing that I will be breaking down later on in a private mystery school, where we're going to go deep into breaking down each developmental of how your consciousness is developed and can be mapped. Now, you guys remember that when I was approached by the FBI about my system. And you guys remember I told you guys when I worked at the biggest insurance company in the state of Texas, and the biggest and most major, well, I've already said the name 1,000 times already. When I used to, when I worked at USA, I had to sign a non-disclosure agreement because they Googled my name and they saw my stuff. And when I went to USA, they do a psych test, and they could not believe that three-legged stool that they have in their psych test, I have also at the old Eagles Club. Now I have a four-legged stool because I've added relationships to it. So how in the hell was my system the same as theirs? So what am I saying? I am simply saying that this system is in the universe. Anybody can tap into the universe, the big G, and download. Source code is not a respective person. That's why religion is whack. Because remember, I am the most immoral person that I've ever met. Nobody have I met other than when I worked in a Supermax, because to my knowledge, I haven't killed nobody. I've shot, stabbed some fools, but to my knowledge, I ain't seen them, so I'm kind of hoping they still around. But there's a couple of things I haven't done. Other than that, I pretty much did everything else. Now, why am I saying that? Because whatever degree that the pendulum swings to the left, it swings to the right. So the reason that you're not good is because you're not bad. Because what do you got? You got morality. So morality prevents you from having spiritual power, as I've said 1,000 times. But do you got to go out and do bad things? Hell no. You got to understand bad things exist. And by your understanding that, okay, there is a dark side. Do I want to put my energy into the dark side? No, you ain't got to. You just know that it exists, so that way you can swing to the right side. Why? You get to choose. You get to choose how you use this frequency, this wave, or this vibration. Now, what do I mean by that? You get to choose how you use this frequency, this wave, or vibration. Well, everything has a dark side. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, there's a positive and a negative, to everything in life. Your job is to simply understand that it exists. If you are called, if you are a master number 11, if you have a 22, 33, any one of the master numbers, then there may be a reason why you have to go into this dark energy, because you have to understand it. So that way you can do what? You can remove it. So people can't bluff me. I never tell anybody what I see when I meet them, or talk to them, or do anything, because it's not my job. Unless they want to know. Then that's when I share with them the dark side of their giftedness, which is just the opposite of these 7 rays. Now, the good part is this. When we talk about over and understanding how these 7 rays work when it comes to implementation, you are here on this earth to master your craft. That's why you're here. You are here because you have to respond to a specific vibration that brings about a specific millennium or a specific power. So you are here to exercise a certain frequency that is needed in the earth at this time. So you are here because there is what is called the seeding period. So we are here to seed the earth. We are here to establish or set the tone, the frequency, the wave, or the vibration of the earth. So everybody here, source code allowed you to be born at this time because you're here to usher in the age of Aquarius. So we're here to set the tone, the frequency, the wave of the vibration, so that way for the next genes, which is generation. Remember, Moses was spared, not Noah. Noah was spared. Why? Why was Noah spared? Because he was a righteous man. Nope. He was drunk and he had sex with his daughter. He got drunk and had sex with his daughter, exposed him. So y'all know the story of Noah. So Noah wasn't righteous. But why was Noah spared? Well, the Bible says because he was perfect in his generations. That means that he was a genetic match for what God wanted to do. So it's about your genes. It's not about your behavior. Now, you need to have good behavior. I recommend it. However, that has nothing to do with what God has designed and gifted for you to do. So you're here to develop the qualities and the characteristics that's for the consciousness of the globe. So you are here to establish solar logos. Let me say it again. You are here to establish the solar logos that establishes the planetary logos. That is why you're here. So everybody I meet, I know that person is here to assist me, or that person is here to try to slow me. So my job is to discern whether you are, now remember, everybody's like waves because we're all made of water. You are either taking me towards my goal or you're taking me away from my goal. My job is to understand the difference. So I meet you, I'm not going to tell you nothing. We meet and you say we high five each other. You know, we do a couple of one-on-ones, and then I ascertain whether or not you are a wave that's taking me in or you're a wave that's taking me out. That's your job too. Everybody that you meet is here to either assist you or they're here to detain or to distract you. Now, the problem is most people can't understand the people that are distractions and the people that are attractions. So there are simply people, when you come together, y'all bond and y'all attract the solar logos. And it's solar, S-O-L-A-R, and the word logos, or again, the word, it's the solar word. It's the God word. Now, most people, again, this is getting really deep. We break this down in the mystery school later on this year as we get into the true meaning of establishing the solar logos, because that's the only purpose. That's the only reason why you're on the planet. That's the only reason I'm here. That's why I'm doing this show. That's why I will continue doing the show until it's my turn to transition, and then I'm going to do exactly what Yahushua did, because I'm on a path to a higher evolution. What does that mean? That just simply means I'm going to transfigure myself. So one day I'm going to go to sleep, and then I'm not going to wake up. I'm on a path because I'm here doing my earthly service that's going to establish my magnetic, which is what I'm drawing, which is you. Now, how do I do it, though? That's what I'm explaining. But I can tell you, I understand that I'm here because this is my earthly service, because there was something I left my first estate, just like everybody else did. Now, you don't remember it because you drunk from the sea of forgetfulness that it talks about inside of the ancient text. So earth is a training ground. And then you got to get back on what is called the ray path. When you find the ray path, that takes you to the path of the solar logos. When you get on the path of the solar logos, that takes you to the path of oneness or absoluteness, where you return to source code. That is the 7 cosmic paths. Everybody is on the path or on the ray path. Now, when I say on the ray path, that just simply means you have an under and understanding that the planets in the solar system affect the water the same way the moon makes a high tide and low tide, the same way women's cycles are regulated by the cosmos. So right now, the solar system is in the sign or in the frequency or in the logos or in the house of Aquarius, because we just left the Piscean age. So Aquarius is the frequency of the water of life. And so what it carries is the law of exponentiality. This is the time to shine and manifest, because we're in the age of Aquarius. So the age of Aquarius is when you receive a special frequency. It's called a neutrino. I broke this down. The sun is releasing CMEs right now as we speak. That's why they are blocking the sun. That's why they are doing everything in their power to prevent you from your biological, your spiritual upgrade. And they trying to sell you on the fact that you need a technological upgrade. So I got to get you to hook up with Elon Musk and get Neuralink and attach some shizness in your brain, so that way you can be illuminated, enlightened, one of them. That's option one. They want to use technology like in the Netflix series Altered Carbon to do what? To extend your consciousness. Now, you got a choice. You can use that if you want, or you can do what I'm doing. So I'm already on the path to a higher evolution because I am on my ray path. Now, my ray path connects me with the ability to multiply the attributes and characteristics inside of me. It amplifies me. That's why I'm stuck on the ceiling every day. That's why I talk loud and I talk fast. That's why I do 3-hour shows. That's why I do three systems at the same time, because the attributes and characteristics is the direct cosmic energy that's sent to me by source through the veil, through the lens, through the filter of Aquarius, and that amplifies it. So it brings about the process of the electrical and the magnetic imprisonment. It activates my chi, and it activates my melanin, basically. So this brings about an amplification of the attributes and characteristics that are mine. Okay, what attributes and characteristics are you talking about, Brother Will? Oh, I'm so glad you asked. So let's go back through the attributes and characteristics that are being amplified by source code for everybody on tonight's call. So if you are a life path number 1, you have this creative, destroying force. It's like a volcano. Now, remember, everybody have multiple colors, but they are given, or you have them in a lesser degree. So if you take out, let me find a chart. Everybody has their life optimization circle. And how many colors do you have on your circle? Well, each one of those colors are a different number. So you have that in a lesser degree. So I'm pulling up, here's a chart that has 112, 134, 213, 101. So if you look at this chart, you see all those colors. Now that's a lot of ones in this chart. So they have that in a lesser degree. But what's the path that they're on? The path that they are on is the path of the 2, because their life path number is the master number 11, and you break it down to the number 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So they are on 2. The number 2 is the number that brings about this power of magnetism. But it is the ray of love and wisdom. We call it intuition. So number 1, you are on the path of freedom. But the way that you get freedom is by exercising divine will and purpose. So number 1, life path number 1. This is what you do tomorrow morning when you wake up. You put your attention on, if you are 1, freedom. How do I get freedom though? Now notice these words for the rays are total different from the words for the life path. Because remember, the life path numbers are these words. Remember, the number 1 is verbal expressive. The number 2 is intuition. The number 3 is artistic imagination. The number 4 is manual skills. The number 5, life path number 5 is assertiveness. Life path number 6 is love of beauty or love of love. Life path number 7 is sympathy or empathy. Life path number 8 is intelligence. Life path number 9 is analytical skills or being analytical. But you notice the ray number 1 is freedom, not verbal expression. But the verbal expression comes from the ray. So if you are a life path number 1, you ain't going to have no verbal expression. If you do not use your willpower and your purpose, you cannot express yourself verbally. So this is the causality of the reality that we call life path numbers. I know no reverend, no doctor, or no bishop teaching this. I don't even know nobody online that's teaching it. Now I know that somebody's teaching it. I just not seen them or not heard of them. So that's number 1. Let's go to number 2. Life path number 2. So if you are here on this earth and you add up the day of you was born and you reduce it down to a single digit number, and that single digit number is 2, you have the ray of compassion. But it is based upon, or it gives you the effect of intuition. So the ray of compassion is based upon love and wisdom that gives you intuition. Somebody should write that down. Life path number 2, love and wisdom. Wisdom is knowledge that's applied. So you got knowledge, but you're not applying it. You ain't got no intuition. But it's love, patience, kind, gentleness, all those attributes and characteristics, verbs that make up love. So it's love and wisdom. Booyah! You got intuition. That's your ray that you are. So if you are a 2, you just got to focus on compassion. And then next question, okay, how do I be compassionate, Brother Will? Well, you love. Well, okay, what is love? Love is patience. Love is kind. Love is gentle. Just read 1 Corinthians chapter 13. That's the shit that you do every day. Because why? What is the dark side of all these numbers? So every word that I'm saying today, the opposite of it, that's probably what you're doing right now. And if you don't stop, you're going to be in Groundhog's Day for life. And you're going to end up with like my boy on Split. You're going to have multiple personality disorder. You're going to have DID. A lot of you guys already got DID. You got dissociative identity disorder. You disassociated yourself from these verbs. That's why you have addictions. And so you don't have power with addiction. The devil can whoop your ass every day, all day, 24/7. You will be his, her, bitch. You will pack their luggage instead of them packing. See, the devil, he works for me. Did y'all read King Solomon, the Lesser Keys of Solomon? 72 demons, and they all worked for him. They built a temple while King Solomon sit on his ass and he just chilled. And they did all the work. Why? He knew their names and their occupations. You're supposed to know your name and your occupation. And then you pump them. But as long as you're more familiar with love and hip hop, as long as you're more familiar with that whack ass job, oh, my bad, the job ain't whack? Okay. I love my baby mama. I never let them go. But as long as you're more familiar with something else other than yourself, you're possessed. It's just a matter of whether or not it is a serious full-on possession or whether it's a partial. So most people are not like gone. That's why you can have a conversation with them. They come in, they go out. They come in, they go out. Because they come in, that demon can't stay. At least not around me. And then they got to go. Because why they get agitated? I get in front of it, man. Like, yeah, it's crazy. People be talking to me and you hear, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Yeah, that demon, he started acting up. So you got to get rid of that. How do you get rid of it? Familiarize yourself with your numbers. Number 3, we did number 1, freedom. We did number 2, compassion, based upon love and wisdom. Number 3 is the ray of wisdom, which is a part of number 2. So the ray of wisdom, how do you get wisdom? Intelligence or intelligent activity. Wisdom is knowledge that is implemented. That's the only way to get wisdom. I got a lot of wisdom. Why? I took a lot of activity. Some would say, especially my ex-wife, she would say that it was not intelligent. I was having a discussion with my, because it's funny. I like when kids get older, they think they're smarter than you. So I having a discussion with one of my kids, and we was having a major disagreement. And then I started posting all of these facts and bringing all of this stuff that I researched, and they were like, "Okay, Dad, okay." He still didn't agree, but he just bowed out gracefully, like everybody else do. It's like I like when people oppose what I say, because then that means that I get to provide all the proof and all the research. And then after about 15, 20 facts, it's like, okay, because I know that they not done the research. Nobody's gonna out research me. Nobody is gonna out research me. I mean, you may do something else, Negro, but you're not gonna out research me. As my children will tell you, they know they don't get in debates with me. They already know. Don't go at dad like that. It's not gonna come out good. So number 3 is wisdom, but wisdom is intelligent activity. So if you are 3, you are, and you have what is called an artistic imagination. If you are life path number 3, that means what? The ability to take your image in your brain and you taking mad activity. Because number 3, you're doing a lot of stuff, but make sure that shit is intelligent. That's wisdom. Number 4, ray number 4, the energy from the sun through the house of Aquarius for the life path number 4 is the ray of harmony. So the ray of harmony is a very interesting ray, because harmony is this ability for you to take, I always use the word mundane. Mundane that's the best word. It's not, because people think that's a bad word. Because mundane means, like for me, it means non-risky. It means conflict less. So the 4 has a ray of harmony, but the harmony comes from being a conflict resolution specialist. So 4s are very stable because 4s are very loyal to a routine. So your harmony comes from loyalty and a routine. If you are a 4, if you are life path number 4, loyalty and routine. So how do I destroy you if you're 4? Make sure you ain't got no routine, and make sure that you're not loyal. Make sure that I put you in an environment where your loyalty is out the window, because that's how I keep you in Groundhog's Day. Number 5, if you are life path number 5, that's the ray of knowledge. Life path number 5. So life path number 5 is the ray of gnosis. But how do you get this gnosis, which is different from wisdom? Wisdom is the application of the gnosis. So life path number 5 comes from life and science. So you get your knowledge, and what is the life path 5? It's assertive. So the 5s are very confident and very assertive because they are very close to what I do. They have a lot of life experiences, and they back it up with a lot of science, mathematics, philosophy, biology. So the 5s, they confident, they assertive. Why? They did some research. So the reason that now remember, if you're a 5 and you're not assertive, that means you've been watching Love and Hip Hop too long. You've been hanging out with the basketball wives instead of doing your research, instead of studying to show yourself approved. So if you're a 5, you're on this earth, and you got a dose, or you are power, and under the Aquarius, knowledge is amplified by the law of exponentiality. Meaning 1 can put 1,000 to flight, 2 can put 10,000. So you're multiplying it, not our mathematics. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Hell no. This is like Omni. This is source code math. So source code math is totally different. He used the law of exponents, exponentiality. That means the shit just multiplies rapidly. This is the age that we're in. We're in the age of life. That's knowledge. Knowledge, though, in order to get that life, you have life experiences, and also you have book knowledge that gives you what we call knowledge. So that's why you're here. That makes you assertive. Let's go to my number 6. So the ray 6. So I'm getting a ray of passion. Every day I wake up, I feel like running. Every day. Why? Where does it come from? It means I am a devotee, and I am grandiose. Now, man, that ray is the most, out of all the rays, And I'm not saying it just because I got it. I'm saying it because, woo! First of all, I was raised in a cult, which y'all already know. See, you think about the greatest setup of all time. Now, Sister Stacy, pimp this. Check this out, Sister Stacy. Now, a devotee is like a cult follower. I'm a devotee. So my power is I am very devoted. Now, Sister Stacy, what happens, Sister Stacy, if I get devoted to the wrong cause? Well, Dr. Span is kind of like me, Dr. Span. Dr. Span can speak on it a little bit too. Now, the word devote or devoted means zealous. It means a zealous attachment. Now, it also means affectionate and it means loyalty. But to me, it's not a benevolent term. It is a benevolent term, but because of the world that we live in, it's not a benevolent term because we vote here on earth. People vote, VOTE. So the word devote, it means basically to divorce, or it means to devow, which means to remove yourself from your voltage. Because remember, VOTE is really VOLT. So I have to be very careful because I'm so blind that when I see something that I like, I just go balls to the wall in that direction. That's what I've been doing all my life. That's how I get shit done. Because remember, y'all heard my life story. First house I bought, the dude hung up on me, cursed me out, and because I didn't have the money. Guess what happens? After repeated cursing out and hanging up in my face, I got that house for like $50 down, and I paid him the down payment later over time. Every car, every house, every girlfriend, it's just what? Bulldog tenacity. That's the ray of the six. The ray of the six is blind devotion. That's, man, why y'all think I stayed in my first marriage so long? The shit was over after the first year. 25 years later. 25. I was stuck in religion, and I knew religion was whack after about 3 or 4 years. 20 years later, I finally got out. Why? Devoted. Blind devotion. But it's a power when you found purpose. Because now I'm devoted to my purpose. There is not a Negro in hell or heaven that can stop me from being me. So now devotion is my greatest asset. It used to be my liability. So I remember, I didn't change, neither have you. The shit that made you bad is the same that's going to make you good. And oh yeah, Sister Hawkins said, zealous like Apostle Paul. Absolutely. I was, man, ooh. And it also means, race 6, it means idealistic. Like, I don't think, my brain doesn't see like other people's. And I know this to be a fact. It took me a while because when I talk to people, like, people don't see the grandioseness that I see. That's why when I see, the good thing is when I meet you, I see you at your best. So when I meet a client, like a new client, like I had I had a conversation with a new potential client, sister, we just call her Sister Jones. So when I saw Sister Jones, we had a conversation. Man, I saw like royalty. I was like, damn, like this sister is bad. Not only in physical attributes and characteristics, but the spiritual energy and the power that's attained. And that I've been talking about this goddess boot camp that I want to start. So then it was like, wow. Yes, this is somebody that could run a goddess boot camp that contains all of the 7 S's that I've been telling that every woman on earth should have with the main 3 that all women hate. And that is sensuality, sexuality, and superiority. Every female should carry themselves that way. But they don't. Why? Because they went to Ebenezer Baptist and they told y'all to tone down your sexuality and your sensuality and your spirituality. Therefore, you won't have no superiority. You won't have no strength. You won't have no sufficiency. And therefore, you got to hook up with you a dude. You got to get you a dude that's going to abuse you because you are in a position where you need, man, don't get with no Negro that you need. You in trouble. Make sure you can look him that Negro in the eye. You make just as money as he do. Not because you have to, just because God designed you to. So what am I saying? I'm simply saying that I have the ability to see your best. What is the life path number 6 again? Love of beauty is perfection. Love of perfection. I am the most anal retentive dude on the planet. If you want some shit done right, I'm your boy. Now, also, if I'm not devoted to it and you want me to do it, I ain't gonna do it. You can put a gun to my head. You can do it. That's why I got my ass up out of the military. Because as I started getting a little older, they tell me, yo, charge that hill. No, I don't think so, bro. I started having a brain. And so I had to get out of the military. Number 7. If you are a life path number 7. Nope, not just yep, number 7. You have the ray of order. Now, this ray is very interesting because the ray of order is really just like magic, but it comes from what we call a ritual in a room. So 7s are what's a 7? Sympathetic. That's the ability to connect with people. That makes them understand people. So 7s have order. We call it magic. So 7s have this order because they understand rituals. That means same thing, same place, same time, same position. They understand the power of being consistent. So the power of the 7 comes from order. Order comes from consistency. And that consistency is what we call rituals or rules. So 7s are consistent. Or when a 7 is in the dark side of their power, what's the opposite of consistent? Inconsistent. If you show me a 7 that's not wealthy, healthy, wise, and in a toe-curling relationship with themselves, with their source, and with other people, I'm going to show you somebody that's not consistent in their routine. So 7s have this ability to be able to connect with other people through what we call a sim, or sympathy, S-M-Y. How you spell sympathy? S-Y, I said S-M. So S-M-S-Y-M, sim. So a sim path. Now, in all of the movies, the sim is a person's whole soul or life placed in the back of their neck. Remember in the movie STEM? The title of the movie was called Upgrade. They put a STEM at the base because that represents what? The reticular activating system. That's the 7. The 7's power comes in the ability to connect with the feelings of other people. It is the crazy. Yeah, thank you, Sister Holly. Yes, Sister Kim. The way you find your number, the numbers that we're talking about, is just to take your date of birth and add it straight across. So if you're born in January the 1st of 2000, you would take 1 January the 1st. That would be 2000. So it's 1 plus 1 is 2, and then 2 and all the zeros. So 2, that's 4. So that means your number will be 4. So you just take your date of birth, you just go straight across. And so, but we're talking about the ray and how it empowers the path. So if you're new to this, yeah, this may be a little, this is like kind of an advanced teaching. I normally don't put this on Facebook. Yeah, I don't even know why I put it on Facebook, but because this is a private class that, but I just put it on Facebook because I do some of these so that way people can see what we do in the private teachings. So 7s are the ability to connect with people. We call it sympath or sympathy. But how do they connect with other people though? Because they are very runic and very rulistic. So a rune is letters that make them very ritualistic. That means they are very consistent. They get up at the same time. They eat at the same time. They do things that we call ritual that makes them magnetic, which allows them to connect with other people. That gives them what we see. Oh, that person has focus, discipline, and order. That's the 7. A 7 has the ray of order, but the 7 life path number on the internet is called intelligence. But for us, it is called sympathetic. A little bit of empathy, but primarily sympathy. That's the 7. And then the 8, the life path number 8, we know is what we call intelligence or what we call material. So the ray, now we're looking at the ray for the number 8. Now remember, the way that we get the ray for the number 8 is the number 7 plus the number 1. So the 8 has the ray of order. They like rituals and routines. Now you find an 8, they very consistent. Very consistent. They are very consistently bad. Or they are consistently good, but they're consistent. Like I joke around with J Money all the time because J Money is an 8. So J Money is stuck in a ritual because he's designed by God to be stuck in a ritual. So like me, I'm a devotee. So J Money has to do the same shit I did. How did I get out, J Money? Because I'm designed by God to be loyal to a fault, to be totally devoted. That means I was like, I'm like everybody that was the whole Jim Jones thing. If that fool was around when I was around, I would have been one of those dudes that drank the purple Kool-Aid. Why? Because I'm devoted. Because remember I told you guys when I was licensed ordained minister, the guy that licensed me was over me, man. I would have took a bullet for that nigga. Anything he told me to do, I would have did. This dude was like a god to me. I worship this dude. Like this is for real. Like my kids, my ex-wife, my first wife, she told me, I mean, when she left, she was like, shit, you should go marry that nigga. You spend more time with him than you do with me. That's the fault. So J Money, what's your problem? Ritual, man. You're routine, the purpose. Voice the routine, J Money, until you get the right one. You got to destroy your routine. How do you get the routine? Rules. What are rules? Letters. That means you remember the interest of letters unfold light. The reason that you're still in the same routine because you're still using the same verbs. Stop whatever words, whatever language, whatever you drive the way to work, don't drive that way to work no more. However you brush your teeth, don't brush your teeth that way. Whatever you do to your hair, do to change your routine. You are stuck in Groundhog's Day because you are married to your routine, not your purpose. Why? You designed by God that way, homie. But once you get that shit right, money will chase you down because what is 8? Material manifestation. You just married to the wrong ritual. You married to the wrong routine. But once you find purpose, because 8 is the 7 and the 1. 7 is the ritual. 1 gives you freedom. That's how you get your ass out of Groundhog's Day. But J Money, your ass will stay in Groundhog's Day just like you are right now. You my boy. You know I keep it real. You told me to. You say, Doc, I can keep it straight. So I'm spitting it to you straight, bro. You will not fight your way out of a paper bag until you destroy your routine. All the shit that you've been doing, people you hang around with, tomorrow your ass probably move to another state. I would change my apartment. I give me a new car. I shave my hair. If it's shaved, I would grow it. Whatever you doing, nigga, that's the wrong routine. Why? Man, we've been rolling how long? 2-3 years, bro? And you still in the same position? Hell no. That means that your ass got the wrong routine. So change the routine and you take to ray number 1, freedom. What is freedom? Divine will and power of purpose. That is the ray of the 8. And everybody else that is an 8 on this call, whatever way you drive to work, do not drive that way tomorrow or Monday. Whatever diet, change your diet. Exercise routine. Your rituals is keeping you stuck like Chuck. You can't be the 1. So the 7 activates the 1 if you're an 8. Last but not least is the 9. And if you are a 9, you cannot shine unless you do the 7. Same thing. You got to stop doing your ritual because you're ritualistic and you are runic. That means you like the same thing. So J Money, if you like tall women, you want to date you a short one. If you like yellow hammers, you want to get you a blue black woman. You got to do the opposite of what you've been doing because the shit you're doing is not working. As far as what we're talking about. Now remember, everybody on this call, you cannot be on this call because this is high level shitness. Everybody on this call is already balling out of control. There is no peasants on this call. This is a call for gods and goddesses. Only gods and goddesses can sit here and listen to me rant and rave for an hour and a half. Nigga, your ass would have been hung up. You are a god and a goddess. That's why the devil's on your ass every day. Because he do not want you to remember, we're on the path to establishing heaven on earth. That is the solar logos. That's why you are connected to me. That's why we talking. We're not here just to talk about the weather. We ain't here to talk about the shit that's going on in Love and Hip Hop. We ain't here to talk about what's going on CNN. Nigga, we're here to establish the kingdom of earth, the tone, the frequency, the wave, the solar source code frequency on this mother. We ain't going up there like the Christians. I ain't dying and going to heaven. Hell no. I'm bringing heaven down here. That's what I'm doing. And if you are a 9, you're here to do the 7 and the 2. Remember, 8 is 7 and 1. Nowhere on the internet can you find this. I've never heard no reverend, no doctor, no bishop, no occult specialist break the number down. Everybody stop with the 7 rays. They don't understand the last 2 rays. So if you are a 7 and if you are an 8 and a 9, this information I'm sharing with you is very, very, very important, because this helps you get out of Groundhog Day. Because you are a 7, if you're a 9, you're really a 7 and a 2. And the 2 is the ray of compassion, love, and wisdom. So if you are a 9, you are the architect, because you are able to be consistent. And once you become consistent, you are able to exercise compassion, which is love and wisdom. That's the number of the 9. That is what makes you what? 9 is what we call the God mind. That's the number of humanity. That is the number that activates all of the 9 mind. The number 9, out of all the numbers and everything that we talk to, later on this year, when I do, in 2020, when I go through my book and we break down the 9 mind, man, I'm going to share some stuff with you. Woo! And we're going to break it down also as we go a little deeper in the mystery school. We're going to break down what is called the quilted universe. We're going to break down the infiltrated multiverse. We're going to break down the cyclical and the landscape, the quantum, the holographic, the simulated, the ultimate, and the omni. These are all different versions or different verses. So really, there are 9 universes. You can exist, and you do exist in 9 different places at the same time. But I got to prove it to you, because any nigga can come out here and just talk some crazy shitness, right? But there's 9 numbers, 9 life paths. So the universe that I'm going to is universe number 6, because that's my star seed. That's where I'm from. I can trace it back to the constellation. So everybody ain't going to the same. In my Father's house, there are many mansions. If it was not so, I would not have told you. That's inside your Bible. So the 9 understands this, because remember, 9s are very analytical. That means they're very departmental. That means they put stuff in a specific order. Because I got 9s. I got 2 9s and a 6 when it comes to my manifestation. So those are the 9 rays and the 9 life paths that gives you the ability to shine and manifest, which all is found in one. This was all about one Greek word that they took out of the Bible. And that Greek word is the underlining word for the word light. So when you look in the Bible, you're going to see the word light, and you're going to see the word photon in English, but it's phos in the Greek. P-H-O-S. There's no T-O-N. Phos, that means package of light. But the package of light comes from somewhere. It comes from the P-H-A-O-S. Or the P-H-A-O, because according to Psalms, verse 100, chapter 119, verse 130, the unfolding of words gives this shine and manifest. So your words unfold the ability for you to shine and manifest. And the ray is activated by your words. And it does what? It informs the simple. It informs the simple. So how did I stop being a devotee? I was willing to die. Now, you guys know, I used to talk about this. You guys know how my mom died, right? I've told everybody, I've told 1,000 times. So my mom was murdered in a cult. Y'all heard of David Koresh? If you haven't, type in Branch Davidian, Waco. The federal government ran in, killed all them fools. Well, there was a guy named David Terrell. He was an offshoot. Google David Terrell. Well, we was in that cult. And they told my mom that she had to go on a purification fast, cleansing to be saved. Water only. Well, supposedly, the coroner's official report was she died from a diabetic coma. And she never had diabetes in her whole life. Now, remember, I had ran away because when I was getting older, and so they couldn't catch me because when I was young, because the cult we was in was ran by two black ladies. They used to beat the dog snot out of me when I was 5 and 6. Well, when my black ass got 10 and 11, J Money, them days was over, bro. So I started fighting back. I was the only one. All my other sisters, brothers, and sisters, they went voluntarily. Not me. Hell no. So my mom was murdered in the cult. So all my brothers and sisters, when we got the thing, my older brothers, they got guns and all stuff. They went looking for this lady. Well, I went on with my rest of my life, and then I got contacted, and I told you guys this story. They found her body chopped up into so many little pieces that they had to use the dental records to identify her. So the story goes. I don't know. I was active in the military. Thankfully, I was stationed in Iwakuni because they thought I did it. Because when I was a little kid, every day I said, one day I'm going to grow up and be a man. And when I do, your ass is grass. Thankfully, I was nowhere on the planet. And in the United States when all of this shit went down. So what am I saying, J Money? I was on the same path. I used to talk mad trash about my mom. Because I couldn't understand, J Money, how my mom would watch this lady beat. Like, I got kids, bro. Ain't nobody putting their hands on my kids, man. But me. Now, I'll knock them out. But you ain't. So I didn't understand, man. That shit messed me up psychologically. That's why I'm always attracted to women with children. Because when I see a woman with a child with a bunch of kids, it reminds me of my mom. Struggling because my dad was nowhere around. Perfect setup, bro. And I damn near repeated exactly what my mom did. I was on pace, J Money, to do the same thing. But thankfully, the big G says, not this one. I got my black ass out of there. You got to break the pattern. If you watch Westworld, the new season of Westworld, and let me close with this, because y'all know I can talk all night. This is very important, especially if you are an 8 or a 9 or a 7. Because you are married to a ritual that's based upon rules that you did not establish. They were given to you by your environment, by your mother, by your father, by your religion. And you are married to that rule, which says, thou shalt not. And Negro, you are a religious zealot, but you married to a rule. Some of y'all, it's your job. If you're a woman, it's probably your man. If you're a man, it's probably your job, because men, we get our worth and value from our job. God forbid you was like me. I was married to my church and my denomination and my religion. I was so crazy that I should go down. I would try to pick a fight with homeless people. Man, if you say something negative, like I be talking trash about the name of Jesus, oh man, that's why I do it. Because that was my sacred oath. I used to carry that shit around like a badge of courage. If somebody says something negative about Jesus, oh, Negro, we was gonna box. And I remember people tell me, hold up, man, I thought you was a Christian. And you know what I should tell them, J Money? I should tell them, well, God is working on me, bro. I ain't there yet. I'm a work in progress. So I had a way to justify for my bad behavior. What am I saying, brothers and sisters? What am I saying? I am saying the information that I just shared. This video should go viral. Everybody and their grandmother should understand the attributes and characteristics that if they don't marry their purpose, you cannot shine and manifest, because the interest of your words is unfolding light, but it's the wrong light. You're not illuminated. You're not a part of the Illuminati. Now, not their Illuminati. They want you to find the little boys, anal penetration, freaking drink blood, especially if you old blood. If you're old blood, they already own you. They've been following you around. You probably don't know it, nigga, but you got a handler assigned to you from birth. And that's why you stuck, because that handler is handling you in a way to keep you away from somebody like me. Because remember, if you're old blood, you are an orphan. That's the old for original. That's King Og. Go back and read the story about Moses again. The dude that sneaks onto the boat, that's your daddy. He was the last. They were trying to get his ass off the planet. Why though? Why was they trying to get old blood off the planet, J Money? Why? I've already told y'all, your blood type is your God type. Stop playing. This is not a game. Or nigga, you will come up and you'll have an accident. Especially if you old blood. They waiting to catch you slipping. So what am I saying? Stop playing. Get in your purpose. Why? They can't touch you when you find purpose. Your power comes from your purpose. It don't come from no person. Now, I'm not telling you not to hang out with people, but I'm telling you, you got to be more familiar with your purpose than you are with any person. Purpose trumps personality. I love your personality. You got a beautiful personality. Sister Stacy, I think you have a wonderful personality, Sister Stacy. I think you're the bomb.com, Sister Stacy. However, Sister Stacy, you better get your purpose. And you better know that mother. Up, back, left, right. You should be able to quote that shit in your sleep. If not, you're going to get punked. Along just like I, because remember, I didn't read it in the book. After 40 years of getting punked, J Money, I just got tired, bro. And I just asked for source code. Hey, go ahead and take me home, man. Or just show me the truth. Do you know, like Sister Jones told me, I asked her, how did you find me? She said, she told God, you know what, man, I'm just tired of this shit. Show me the truth. Bam. Then she find me on YouTube. Do you know how many people have told me that? If I had $1, I'm going to start charging y'all $1 for people that tell me that. So that way, shit, I'd be a millionaire. Because why? That's the same thing I said on January the 1st of 2009 when I turned my back on everything that was taught. And I had a gun in my head, J Money, 45, Desert Eagle. Or was it my Glock? One of them. And I was ready to put a bullet in my head because I could not go to prison to work there. Y'all know the story. And thankfully, the Big G showed up. Not today, Negro. It's not your time because it's time for you to shine. So my brothers and my sisters, it's time for you to shine. We start on April the 2nd. The best class. I'm excited. Because I like talking about all this metaphysical stuff and all of this great stuff and all of this. But Negro, if you can't pay your light bill on time, guess what? It's hard to listen to me because you're thinking, oh, damn, I got to go to work. Like, Brother Will, I like what you're saying, dog. It's deep, but I got to make this dollar because I got to pay my light bill. That is why I hate poverty. Because poverty keeps you from your spirituality. So the first demon that we're kicking out is that wealth demon. And then we're going to kick out the health demon. And then the wisdom demon. And then the relationship demon. We're going to destroy these 4 demons in 2020. Watch me. Watch me. Mark, write it down, J Money. Write it down. So join me April the 2nd. Go to the website, MT33 Business School. We kill the first demon. That's that Negro called poverty. We're going to smoke that fool. MT33 Business School. It's time to shine, brothers and sisters. This is your boy, Dr. Will Rogers, a.k.a. Master Teacher 33. Sister Kim, thank you so much. I think this is your first time. Same here. My husband found you. Oh, wow. Wow, I didn't even know that. So thanks for sharing that with me, Sister Kim. And Sister Holly, my boy, Brother Gordon, thanks for tuning in. Thank everybody so much for joining me on tonight's show. I know it was a little long. Y'all know I can talk, but thank you for sticking with me, J Money. Excuse me. I know you want to go to a strip club, bro, and make it rain, but thanks for sticking around, bro. Appreciate you.